Today, I answer two viewer questions, one about moving notes around in Evernote, and another one, a viewer who expresses concern over the artificial intelligence powered search. Two great questions. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. Before we start, I got to ask you a question. Have you checked out my course, Evernote for Beginners, yet? Whether you're brand new to Evernote or just want to use it more efficiently, this course can help you. Evernote for Beginners. Find out more at my website, daveedwardsmedia.com, and click on courses. So, one of my viewers asked how they should most efficiently move notes around from one notebook to another. There are a number of ways in which you can move notes into notebooks. Perhaps the simplest one is the most direct one. Just here we have a sample note, which is in our notes section. So let's say we open our notebooks, and now we have a collection of notebooks. Well, one way of doing it is to just put your cursor over the note that you want to move, press down on Control, and just slide it over. And now you can see it has been moved into the notebook of my choice. Another way of doing it is you come over here, you click on the three dots, and here you have a move button. You click on that, and then you can select it to move to any number of different notebooks that you have, and you could click done. All right, so now let's say you want to move more than one note to a different notebook. I'll click on this one, and I will hold down the Command key, and I will click this one. And now what you're going to notice is a new panel that opens in the bottom of the screen. And that panel indicates that you now have two notes selected. You have a number of options. You can move them, you can edit the tags, you can merge them, or you can trash them. For our sake of purposes, we want to move them. So I click on this button, and now I say I want to move that to my Client A folder. I hit done, and now those notes have been moved to my Client folder, as you can see right here. Another question. After my interview with the head of Evernote, Jim asked, what happens to the data that is shared in AI? Is it kept in some database? So let's look first at what Evernote says on its website. It says in order to provide the best possible experience for our users, we may need to work with providers such as OpenAI to better support certain features and functionalities like the processing of note content. However, rest assured that we take your privacy and security very seriously, and any personal information disclosed to these vendors are subject to strict data protection requirements as outlined in our privacy policy. We are committed to protecting the privacy of your data and ensuring that your information is kept safe and secure. So, first of all, a couple of things. In that interview that I did with Federico Siminato, he said, and it's been widely published on Evernote's websites, that when you engage the AI powered search feature in Evernote, not all of your notes are searched or transmitted to their third party vendor. Again, this is what it says on their website. Only your most relevant notes are processed. When you input your query, the first thing we do is identify the most relevant notes for that specific query. Those are the only notes processed by the third party to provide you with an answer. When you make a filter request, no notes at all are sent to or processed by the third party. Don't ask me how they determine what is the most relevant. I'm not smart enough to understand that, but I'm realizing that they've got that figured out. But in addition to what Evernote has published, here are some things that I learned. Your data is deleted by the third party within 30 days of its upload. That's the policy that the vendor they use has in place. I did some checking, and actually a lot of companies do this kind of thing. They upload your data, and then they process it, and then they hold it for a period of time. Do I think that's the best way of doing this kind of work? No. But at least it isn't used to feed the knowledge base of some big AI architecture. But just in case, I always say this: if you have at all any concerns about the data that you have on Evernote and sharing that data, don't put it in Evernote. I mean, if you look at my account, I store a lot of stuff related to my work, to my consulting business, my teaching, a lot of personal stuff, manuals for repairing things around my house or my car. But I don't put in my social security number. I don't put in my bank account information. I don't need it there. It's in other places. One could argue that where those other places are terribly secure, but I think they are. But just to be safe, I don't put real sensitive information inside Evernote. So you should consider how best to do that. But rest assured that anything of those selected notes, those most relevant notes that are uploaded by Evernote for AI powered search, they do evaporate within 30 days. If you have questions about Evernote, I mean, I'm an Evernote certified expert. I don't work for the company, but I certainly like to hear your questions. And if I have the answers, I'll try to provide them to you. And if I don't, I'll poke around until I get an answer for you in most instances. So, post your question below, or just send me an email, daveedwards@outlook.com. And again, I want to remind you, if you want to use Evernote most efficiently, check out my course, Evernote for Beginners. Don't let the for beginners thing turn you off if you've been using Evernote. I still think you'd pick up a lot of great tips by taking a look at the course. That course is available to you at daveedwardsmedia.com. Just click on courses. I'm Dave Edwards. Thanks for joining. We'll talk soon.